Hello, all of you risk takers and truth seekers to podcast live. The battlefield today, roles are being reversed. Today, I've been interviewed by the amazing Jessica Wallis over there. So I asked Jessica to do me a humongous favor to help me with my marketing and sales. And Jessica.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I got the questions.
Yes, you do. So you are one person that really inspires me.
Oh, thank you.
And doing this, you've interviewed me now twice. So I feel like I really wanted to come on and interview you today instead of you getting to know more about me because you know everything about me already. So I wanted to start off with question number 1. Are you ready?
Please.
You ready?
By all means.
Perfect. Okay, so I want to know, and your viewers want to know, and all my viewers want to know, why you started your podcast, The Battlefield, and what inspired you?
We spoke this before, first of all, I'm very grateful that you are here today, that you interviewing me. I always want to share my story. I always want to, say something about me. And, I was on the internet always searching for the answers. And more I was searching for the answers, more I discovered lies, deception, the fraud, the deceit. And then I said to myself, I want to do the podcast. I want to start something else differently. And I do remember when I started my first business, 2009, 2010, there's a movie called Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
And somehow this movie was, the ghosts are coming.
Yeah.
And then in 2009, I discovered a book called You Can Do It, Aussie writer called Paul Hanna.
Yep.
And he speaks about that movie. And if you build, they will come. It's So I built my first business, second business. But podcasting was something more passion, more to drive because I always feel I was handicapped in terms of speaking to people.
Yeah.
I wanted my story, but my English is not good. I want to say something, my grammar is not good. I want to say something, my son says to me, don't do it, don't embarrass me. I say okay. So podcast was platform to interview people like yourself, people who traversing from victim to victor.
Yep.
So I said to myself, nobody want to talk to me. Okay, that's fine. Nobody doesn't know me. That's even better. I understand people don't want it, but what stops me to interview people on professional level, combining my experience in investigation, interrogation, and talking to people like yourself who traverse it from victim to victor. That's why my podcast.
Amazing. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you go. All right, question number 2.
Yes.
Advice that you can give younger entrepreneurs of today, because these days there's obviously everyone wants to be an entrepreneur these days and you've had so much experience. So what would your advice be to the younger generation?
Look, I always say, if you want to run any type of business, I need to know what you are good at.
Yeah.
Never go into the field where you need to learn new skills, exactly new skills. Like you are great in fitness, you're great in dieting and all these things.
Thank
you understand, truly, you understand as well the women fashion, you're doing that sportswear, all these things. So what would be for you should be to say okay, I'm going to do now be the astronaut, I'll build a spaceship. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I said to people, stick with what you know.
Yep.
Make sure that you research your knowledge, your experience even further. Try to enhance because never spend so much time investing your time on your competitors because people say what your competitor does, Nobody cares for competitor. Competitors
100%.
are 2 steps ahead of you. So why would you spend time on something instead of just spend time on you? Enhance your capabilities.
Yep.
Be relentless.
Yep.
Pursue your dreams and goals like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can say to people they'll be successful. And as well, be
100%.
careful who you're associating yourself with.
Yeah. I think that's really good advice. I think that back in the day when I first started, it would always be you got to see what your competitors are doing. But these days I find that if I compete against people, my mindset becomes really negative.
Yeah.
But you should really be inspired, if anything, with your competitors. You know what I mean? So that's really good advice. I love that.
No, but you said this even better than I did.
No, I didn't.
You did. I think we're going to fight after the Yes.
Maybe I should be interviewed today then. Maybe I should answer these questions. All right, question number 3. Yeah. One interesting thing about yourself that not many people know. And I want you to be really open and honest with this one. Make it interesting. Something that I don't know.
Okay,
Yep.
so not many people know that I was actually the guy who I think I cried the most of everybody else, you know, me in my life. And most of my tears were being around emotional downfalls, I'll call, right?
Yep. And that's okay.
You know, well, nowadays, but, you know, when you grow up, I grew up in typical patriarchal society, communism. The man is a man, you know, like, you know, turns out that all these men I know are supposed to be men, they're not those ones. But
Yes.
anytime when I was looking, I fall in love, you know, I've been dumped. Before I even start something, I'll be dumped, right?
Yeah.
And I think that most of my life, what I did was doing things to impress the girls around me.
Yep. Okay.
And I run into so much trouble in life because I realize I'm becoming something I'm not for somebody who doesn't care for me.
Yep.
And today I'm grateful. So like this is something nobody doesn't know.
Well, there you go.
No,
So a lot of girlfriends.
yeah. The one thing I want to die for love.
Yeah.
You know, this is the story nobody doesn't know. So I was immediately deeply in love with the one girl.
Yep.
And I was 18, she was 15 at the age. I was like, and she was my first girl.
Yep.
And the war separated us.
Okay.
She's a Serbian, I'm Croatian.
Yeah.
And in those days, 91, when war broke out, we considered each other enemy, right? That's
Oh, wow.
So when I say I was always doing things to impress somebody, so I went in so much trouble in the war because I want to die, because my heart was bleeding and was broken. And I was wounded several times because of the woman who didn't care for me at all. Right.
Okay.
And I want to die. So I turned into the national hero and I didn't die. So no one doesn't know this. Actually, I went in the war because I wanted to die because...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So that was it,
Wow.
Yeah. That is a story nobody doesn't know.
That's really...
I can't tell her name, but...
No, of course not. No.
She's a friend on my Facebook, so...
Okay, so you're still in contact?
No, we're not in contact. We're just friends on Facebook. She found me
From 15 years old?
Yes, she was 15, I was 18, 91. I'm 50 years old now, so... It was the first love, you know, we're building the dreams, you know, the castle in the sky, the kids, the family.
Yeah.
And then the war happened to us.
Yeah.
Even we witnessed things are changing around us.
Yeah.
And then one day, boom, on the 13th of July, I was...
You went into the war?
Yeah, so like on 13th of July, I saw her very last time.
Yeah.
And on 14th of July, I wake up in the morning, 1991, somebody was knocking on the door, open the door! I said, oh, fuck, it's no door. And I'm looking around, like, where's my mom, where's my dad?
Yeah.
And my father, who's the man, you know.
Yeah.
I found a message on a kitchen table, but I was opening the door, there was a military police and civilian police. They told me to report to army barracks immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I was drunk from the day before because my heart was broken.
Oh.
And when they left, they told me in 2 hours I need to be in army barracks. I saw the message on the kitchen table, we are okay. That was a message from my parents. They left me during the night.
Oh my goodness.
So it's in my book, Blood, Soccer, Soul. So I went in the war same day and I want to die because the day before I realized...
Yeah, you're heartbroken.
Yeah, like she was in a car leaving Croatia to the Serbia.
Yeah.
So on a border we disengaged. And went back home. Yeah, and the war started 14th of July.
Wow.
Yeah. And I want to die, just want to die because my heart
But you
was...
survived.
Yes.
You survived.
Yes. You know, that's the saying, like, people be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
But, you know, it turns out into
100%.
this. So nobody doesn't know this, that actually I wanted to die.
Now they do.
You know. Yeah, now they do, yeah. Even my son, when he reads the books, are like, what? So like, yeah, that's the story.
And people can purchase this book from you, so they can learn all about this. And where
They
do
can
find
purchase
it?
the book if they're patient enough. They can go on my YouTube channel.
Amazing,
There is
yeah.
my audiobook
Yeah.
with B-roll. So we're converting this into the B-roll
Amazing.
video audio book. Yeah.
I mean, this isn't on my question list, but now that we're talking about love, I feel like I want to ask the question because being a single girl myself. And social media, when I like have talked or seen guys, I mean, I have absolutely zero luck. But what is your take on love in this society today?
Look,
Do you believe that it still exists? Or,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, I always love that feeling, when you fall in love, that you have the wings, it's nothing, it's there, just go for this, you're rushing home to see that person you love, push against the wall, lift, tear apart the clothes. I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Social media is a little bit distorted.
Yeah.
But I say, like, there's no social media can influence personally me if I love somebody.
Yeah.
There can be things, whatever they are, but I truly believe that social media can be the best friend.
Yeah.
Or can be worst enemy.
Yeah.
And the social media can play with your mind. It can turn into the hell,
Yeah.
or you can create a heaven. So
Yeah.
I truly believe that social media it's a good thing. We can learn a lot of things. We can find the person we love as well.
Yeah.
I think today I would say my times I'm dinosaur now, but that's like, it was a different, you need to go to all that ordeal. You can have your phone number and landline. So
Yeah.
the parents answer the phone. What do you want? I said, I want to talk to Jessica. She's on here. Bang.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that social media, it's a beneficiary, but equally can be very detrimental for somebody. So I say, people, be careful what you're doing there and what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in saying that, like you were saying about the phone call, I see my nan and pop and like how in love they are. And back in the day, obviously, they didn't have social media and they've been together since they were like 15, 16 years old. But then love these days, like you talk to somebody and they're into you for a week and then a week later they're gone. So I feel like at my end, I feel like social media can ruin relationships. But I definitely myself believe in love still because I'm surrounded by it with friends and family. So
I share something with you, what my father told me. And I do remember the days just before my father became sick. So he asked me, we never been in good contacts, my father and I. Man, such a story. So this is for all of you guys. There's a hope. And I had my car, but, I saw him. The war was a sort of standby. Nothing happening. It's a lot of shooting, but it's nothing happening particularly. But he says to me, can you drive me my village where he's born? I said to him, first of all, I can't stand my father, right? You know what I mean? He was a pathetic, sadistic, little man, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, okay. I drove him into village and he says to me, drive me here. So, okay, stop there. I say, okay, well, I need to stop here. It's a known house for me.
Yeah.
And there's this old lady. She's cleaning with the broom the front yard, right?
Yeah.
Of the house. So my father stepped out of the car. Right, they don't talk. Let's just say, like, imagine you and I, just a fence between us, and you see me, I see you. Yeah. We don't talk, like, maybe 20 seconds. It looks like it's like a 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
And my father goes back in the car, and I can see I think somehow he knew that what's following that's going to be sick and, whatever it is. And then he says to me, I want you to remember one thing. You're always going to remember the first and last. Yeah. And that's like, I don't understand. The first, it's obviously referring to you have a first sex and everything else.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
It's the second, and the last one is a person you're going to spend a life.
Yeah.
It's everything between, it's just a memory.
Yeah.
I said, which one? She's this one. He says, she was my first one. And her parents married her to this guy who was very, very ultra rich. I mean, my father was just a peasant on the village, right? So, like, they sold her. I mean, like
wow.
And I said to him, I said, man, this guy has some gold, gold nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, so the truth it is, we're living the life, and we're always going to remember the first person we were ever being intimate. It's natural.
Yeah.
And then the person we're spending lifetime, it's going to be that way. And I'm saying this to you, to everybody. Everything between, it's alive, but there comes a moment when you settle with somebody.
Of course.
And doesn't matter who was before, it's that person is there with
Yeah.
you.
I love that. Well, there we go. I'm going to take some of that
Okay,
advice off
that's
you.
fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessie.
So in the topic of social media, my next question is, what is your thoughts on social media today? So you answered that a little bit just before, but yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that it's a negative, a positive thing? What's your thoughts?
You see, you and I have a different view on social media.
Yeah.
Because, you're using social media differently than I do. And my job, it's investigating people, right?
Yeah.
Interrogating people. So I'm doing a lot of cybercrime investigations. And I think that social media, it is a dangerous place.
Yeah.
And it's a good place at the same time. I think that social media makes us either happy or angry. When you're watching the news, you can see people changing their mood, they're angry and everything else.
Yeah.
I think that we should embrace social media because it's a part of our life. It's instant, it's convenient, it's all information are there. But I say to people, never believe the one source information.
Yeah.
Because information is basically words. In my previous life, I call previous life, when I was working in intelligence, we used to be weaponize the words. So when you put emotion, so it's, let's go say different. If I say to you, Jess, I hate you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when I say, Jess, I hate you, and I mean, people that, that's that's why they put emotions into words, you weaponize them, people don't understand.
Yeah.
So I think that, again, social media can be the best friend or worst enemy. It's what you choose to be because it's addictive, it's
very addictive.
Very addictive. And I say, we need to embrace social media because it's a part of our life. It's
100%.
So I'm Indian. I mean, I'm 100%. Just be careful what you're doing.
Exactly.
And with who.
Yeah.
And what.
All right. My next question for you is, what is your journey on how you got to where you are today?
Oh, my God.
Because I feel like on your podcast, you obviously interview a lot of people and how they got to where they are. But I mean, even I've known you for a while now, but I would love to know how you got to where you are today. And I'm sure your listeners would love to hear that too.
First of all, I need to say thank you to everybody who told me I can't do it. You need to be thankful to those people.
Of course. They're your motivation, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, you and I, we are both witnessing on different levels. That not just because you are very intelligent, you're a very smart person, you're beautiful as a woman.
you.
I mean, you don't go to your trials and tribulations. We all go through these things.
Yeah.
I think that I always say to people, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Again, need to go back a little bit in time. 1992, in January 15th, I'll remember like now, was a day when Croatia got international recognition, independence.
Yeah.
Many countries, Croatia is independent now. And I remember that day was such a horror day because the enemy was shelling in, and we knew at the UN it's coming now, it's going to be sort of status quo, it's going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then just, long story short anyway, there was in a bunker group of my soldiers watching TV, big TV was there, and it was not flat like today. And there was a commercial on TV I saw with the corner of my eye. There was a commercial about hamburger, cheeseburger, McDonald's, girls in bikini in Ibiza dancing with them, sunny and everything else. It's like, oh my God, like I just want to have that burger, right? Honestly. And a few seconds later, there was, you can see somewhere there was passenger jet flying above, you can see the hot air.
Yeah.
And I said to everybody, I said, like, you know what? One day I'm going to be on that plane to Ibiza and I'm going to be those girls there. And everybody says to me, oh, come on, boss, because I was in charge, And 7 years later, I was on a plane for Australia. And the first thing what I saw was driving from airport to the city to meet my ambassador because I come to Australia to work in Croatian embassy as head of intelligence. Yep. That's not a secret. The driver stopped on Pitt Street Mall. There was a girl dressed as a Santa Claus, I was like, oh my God, where's McDonald's?
I made it.
So how I started, I always wanted something in my life. I wanted something my own.
Yep.
But you always been sort of stopped in life. I presume you as well. Don't do this, don't do that. Then GFC comes. Mm-hmm. When the GFC come, my son became very ill. He got diagnosed with the epilepsy. Mm-hmm. My marriage was falling apart. We lost the home, everything else. I started my own business because I literally had nothing to do.
Yep.
Nobody wanted to employ me. Everything was disarray. So I said to myself, I'm going to start investigation. So I wanted to work for somebody else.
Yep.
And everybody told me, we don't want you because your background, your English, you're too bold, you were too fat, you're too this, too that.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was all these things, right?
Yeah.
I said, okay, yeah, what can I do? Anyway, long story short, I started my business, and I do remember I have still a good friend of mine, and she's a lady now in late 70s. She gave me the $1,000 to pay for the license to police
Yeah.
to open my business.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody else gave me $150 to pay for the registration of the
Yes.
sole trader.
Yes. Yep.
And that's how I started. I
Wow.
literally started, and I was working night shift as a CCTV operator in Bankstown RSL Sports Club. I was working CCTV during night.
Wow,
And I was
okay.
writing the book as well. Everybody was laughing to me there. During the day, I was knocking the door. Do you need a PI and this and that?
Yeah.
And I do remember I had one opportunity, one lunch with a client who is today mine, who invited me, and I told them, I'd like to see you. He says to me, we already have provider.
Yeah.
I said, like, give me opportunity. One case, if I'm not good enough, tell everybody I'm the worst private investigator.
Yep.
He says to me, nobody speaks that way. Okay. So we have the coffee. He told me coffee. I come in that coffee shop. I have a $20. And yeah, he brought the entire team for the lunch.
How many people?
7 people, including me.
Wow.
And they all have the lobsters and
Yeah,
know,
all the expensive stuff.
You know, everything else.
Yeah.
Like I try to say on a bill, I say I'm not hungry.
Oh.
And I was worrying about, and the waiter comes and said, like, to pay, and they would look at me. I said, like, I forgot my wallet.
Yep.
The client, he saw my plastic bag with all the paper, plastic. It's just ridiculous, but
Yeah.
my wallet was there. He says to me, it's okay, Mario. We all forget the wallets.
Oh. So he
Even-
believed in you.
Yes, he knew it. He knew it. I was lying in his eyes because, you got what you want, one job.
Yeah.
But then I can't pay the lunch,
Yeah.
which was sort of compulsory. So even today, I speak with him and say, Ed, remember, says to me, I do. I say, like, now I can pay lunch. So
Oh, that's
one
sweet.
case was running, second case, and he introduced you to another person. And that's slowly you understand the business, understand the environment, understand what to say, what not to say.
Yeah.
And I never chased my competitors' money and how I get more work. I really wanted from day number one, which I said to my clients, my staff today. Today I employ over 300 people. So it's,
You employ over 300 people?
yes, that's great. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's
Wow.
one thing, So
Wow.
almost 300 people, across the show. So
Good
it's,
work.
we giving to them, I always say, look, we can't produce over same quality, but at least let's go work on what we can do.
Yeah.
If we can't do it, I'd rather go there to my client. I always say to client, if something's wrong, it's my fault,
Yeah.
not my stuff. It's my fault. You want to suck me? Never happened. And we never had any issues with no clients. I must say, I'm very thankful for this one. So yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. So that's
Well
how
done.
it started.
Yeah.
Just wanted to grow. I can't explain to Jess. I know things happen some itself, the God, the universe.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, something is there, it's
Yeah.
happening here. So
I have 2 more questions for you.
yes, please.
Okay. Being in business myself, I mean, we've all had setbacks before, and I feel like it's really important to talk about your setbacks because you might step back, but you have to keep on going forward in
Yes,
order
yes.
to succeed, right?
yes.
If you own a business and you've never had one setback, please tell me what your journey was on that because I think we all do. So I want to know what your setback, like your biggest setback was. Like, or have you ever had a setback in your business?
I promise that I'm never going to speak about these people, but I employ wrong people,
Okay.
and they took me for the ride.
Okay.
Literally took me for the ride. It cost me arm and leg.
Okay.
Literally.
Yeah.
It cost me everything what I had. You know what I mean, now from this distance, I realized that I needed for these things to happen to me so I can learn the lesson. I truly believe that, like in relationships, we have the people in our lives we dating them or we married them, and they are there for the teach us a lesson, right? I never believe in that things because I always believe that I'm the smartest guy. I know everything. I have answer for everything. If something goes wrong, I blame you. Before I knew you, it's a Jessica fault. 10 years ago it was your fault.
Yeah.
If somebody says that didn't face any obstacles or disappointment in business, is a liar.
Yeah.
So there's something's wrong with that person.
Yeah.
Except if you don't work for yourself, only by yourself. But again, we all depending on providers, we depending on the people surrounding us, the professional network, and list goes on.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I lost everything in my life thanks to two people. Like literally everything.
Yeah.
Because today I value more what I'm doing today.
Of course.
The biggest problem for me was to face the people around me to tell them that this happened to me because I was advising them on those mistakes. So you need to fall back. You need to face every obstacle. Doesn't matter how difficult or how big it is, you're going to learn the lesson. If you don't learn, learn the lesson, you're going to be smashed again.
Yeah.
It's not easy. We can't, your problems are not equal like mine, Jess. As I say, it's much more harder to be a woman in today's world, much more harder always than the man. The woman always going to be seen differently. A man's going to behave differently.
Yeah.
Men go against the man. I know now I know how to deal with the man.
Yeah.
But I think that we all should embrace every failure there 100%. For the reason there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right in the regards to, I mean, I don't think women have it harder, but I feel like me being in business, for example, the other day I was talking to somebody about when I used to be a bartender. Yeah. And I was actually a really good one. And my manager at the time, me and him had a really good relationship. He was an older man with daughters. Like, it was nothing like that. And instead of just being like, with the person I was talking to, instead of saying to me, oh, wow, that's really good, like that you were good at that, he's like, are you sure he didn't just like you because of your looks? And I thought to myself, there's more to me than my looks. And I feel like women in business, it's like, oh, she's only succeeding because of her looks. But it's like, no, I worked my ass off for where I am today. So I think in that regard, it's hard in business because a lot of people will look at you and be like, oh, you're just successful because you're pretty. Like, and it's not, that's Jess, not the case.
That's what makes you a very unique person.
That's not the case.
If you go back on your question, social media, if the social media, it's actually educating generations, be ruthless, be conniving, be this, be that. You know what? I tell you right now, people they don't know how stupid that it is because we are all, I never spoke about this before, but when I was in Intelligence Academy, I had this lady and not me, but as a lecturer, psychologist, right? And she told us something about that circadian clock and the binary code. And she told us very simple, for us to do the job we're doing, we need to understand that everything what we do, it is in the numbers. It's a binary code. We sleep in the numbers. We work. We do the hourly rate, hours on work in the binary numbers. Everything's in numbers. How many times we eat, how many calories we have, everything is in numbers. If you tap into that network of these numbers, of the binary code, you're gonna win. You can't win by forcing people to feel sad or feel happy, work harder, work this, work that, because it's gonna break you. And as I say to you, you are attractive woman, Jess. I was gonna say this, you are. But I feel like I'm the privileged one today to have you. No, seriously. And I want the entire world knows that there is the reason why you are there, nobody else. Because like I saw you, how you hard working. And that's what to me, it's a winning formula. Somebody who is dedicated for what he or she does, it's winning formula. But if you go over there and bullshitting every single day with your fucking ridiculous quotes or some, BS crap from your life, you should do this, it's easy to talk. You know why Jessica Wallis? I said this why again. Why nobody can convince me differently. Everybody knows how to talk, what to do. Show me how. You see, I saw you. Show me how. This is how I do my cooking. This is how I do my exercise. This is how my client doing this. And that's what the guys, when you're looking for the coach, That's what you need to ask. Show me how. Okay, enough of me.
My last question, because you're getting interviewed by a health coach, so you're not going to like this one. But how much water have you had today?
No, not much. Why?
Because you're getting interviewed by a health coach.
That's correct. Yes, correct.
What's in that cup right there?
The coffee.
Coffee.
Yes.
So I want to see more water, Mario. It is
thank you.
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll have the more water. See, that's a.
Speechless. He has nothing to say.
True, but the thing is, I should drink more water. I have the coffee.
Yes.
Before you come, I was looking for my keys. It's like, what's my keys? Like, I'm supposed to finish my
Don't blame it on your keys,
No,
Mario.
but that's like, but you see what's happened to me? And I was like, come on, Jesse's on door. Where's the keys? I need to step out. So yeah, more water. Why more water, Jess?
More water?
Yeah, why?
Water is like the key to everything. You want clear skin? Water. You want to
Okay.
feel good? Water. You have a headache? Water. My clients, I like water. Water is like the main source of your health.
That's water.
I drink about 4 liters a day.
Where you fit all of this?
What about your diet then? How's your diet going?
My diet is good. I said, like, I spoke to you, like, one of the diets you gave me, but I was like, I realized I was sitting for some time. It's like, why I'm not losing weight? Everybody's.
I should say, sorry, let me rephrase that question. I hate saying diet. How's your nutrition? Because it should be a lifestyle, not a diet.
I'm happy now.
Good.
I'm happy now. I'm happy now that today, let's just say last 4 months, because I was competing for the Golden Gloves in the world title in boxing for masters in 3rd and 4th November.
Yep.
And now I have another world title on 23rd of November. February, Las Vegas. That's my,
In Las Vegas?
Yes.
That's so exciting.
You will come.
I will come.
I can promise you that just going to come because
My dream is to go to Las Vegas.
You know what I want to see in Las
Vegas? I would
Vegas?
love that.
Fucking the Elvis there.
Oh.
I always have the wedding with the Elvis. Do you think you want to? No, seriously, in a pink, pink Cadillac. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm dying for that crap. So seriously, I'm still like a kid. See what you've done to me. So like I was thinking myself like, what I'm doing wrong. I remember you gave me the diet a few years ago. Sometimes I said to myself, something I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing wrong. First, I discovered there's far too many coffees because that's all dairy. Far too many cappuccinos. Then I was discovering why I'm freaking chewing sweets after night, right? And guess what? I go to my GP. It's a good buddy of mine. He says to me, I want to see a psychologist. It's like a psychologist. He says, yes. It's like, come on, Win. Anyway, I saw this lady twice.
Yeah, which is good.
I said to her, I can't help you anymore. She was laughing. It's like, look, we've done it. You know what I mean? So what she told me, I said, what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah.
And she says to me, what do you mean? I was like, well, I've been sent to you to talk about my sweets.
Your feelings.
Yes, so she says to me this.
Your sweets.
Sweets. She told me I have the reptilian brain. I said, like, what I have is a reptilian brain. So basically what she explained to me, she says to me, many men who's gone to the real trauma, they have a PTSD, and I don't like that word, right? I said, no, I don't have PTSD. So anyway, she says to me, how many wars have you been? I said, 3. I said, okay. So basically what she says to me that my reptilian brain switches after 8 o'clock. My reptilian brain takes over my normal brain.
Yeah.
And needs to keep awake. So he needs to eat all these sugars and everything else.
Yeah.
She says to me, what time are you going to bed? I say about 3 o'clock in the morning because Matteo wakes me up, my son, yeah? So I fall asleep in front of TV.
Yeah.
Between, as I say, 9 o'clock p.m. to 3 a.m., I will have the Tim Tams. I will have the milk. Then go and sleep. Seriously, just many other things, white sweets. But anyway, she says to me, you need to change this thing. I said, come on, my reptilian brain. And I start drinking water at night and I start forcing myself, actually, literally forcing to go in the bed about 10:30.
Yes.
And I was Matteo is hiding all these sweets from me.
Good.
Because, so I start changing these things. So like, have the more salads, more, I don't know, eat fish, but.
More nutrition.
More nutrition.
Yes.
And it's rubbish the way how I live. I feel embarrassed to say I feel.
Don't be embarrassed.
No, it is because
Don't be
I should be
embarrassed.
smarter. But I said most of people I'm seeing, they don't think about that way. And
Yeah.
when I done my medical before the boxing, she cleared me 10 out of 10. She said no cholesterol, no this, no that, blood pressure, everything. I said you're losing weight. I said oh, because.
But how did you feel? So with my clients, I always say how, like, it's about how you feel. So eating the sugary stuff, yummy when you're eating it, but did you feel like shit after?
Yes.
And now that you're eating healthier, don't worry about your appearance, but how do you feel within yourself eating healthier?
Feel good.
Exactly.
You know, I think that I now understand that this, how to call this, that feeling, emotional feeling when you see yourself in the mirror, you hate yourself. That's what's happening to me.
Yeah.
I said to myself, if I go my coach would put that thing around it's called the polar.
Yep.
So 1 hour, 20 minutes of the boxing, it's about 1,800 calories.
Okay.
He says to me, this is 3 times per week.
Yeah.
He said, why don't you losing weight? The number one I did, I lied to everybody. I have no idea.
Yep.
It's a Jessica fault.
It's not my fault.
It's a cup call. So, then GP says to me, which is good buddy of mine, he says to me, what are you eating? So I'll have everything till 7 p.m.
Yep.
He says to me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe to try go for something, some hormones here, right? Let's go check the hormones. It's producing all this. You're like, no, the body does everything.
Yeah.
And then my son spoke to my GP because they know each other. Because other one is my GP. It's a professor here in university.
Yeah.
He said, no, my daddy, he's eating during the night. He said, okay.
He's like, well, there's the answer.
So
There's the
he says
answer.
to me, what?
Yeah.
He said, like, packet of Tim Tam, liter of milk, couple can of Coke.
Yeah.
He says to me, what the he said, because even you burn all these calories during the boxing, you put 6 times more during the night and then you go sleep.
And it's not nutritious for you either. So it's just sugars. So it's
And then in the morning,
storing.
I felt miserable.
Yes.
So train during the day and repeat
Yeah.
some shit during the night. And then I need to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now you feel better.
Yes, I feel
And
better.
mentally as well.
Well, see, this is the crucial thing as you being coach, because I don't believe in the coaches. I saw them, I used to have in the past,
Yep.
and they'll spend more time with the chicks on the side than with me, who is I'm paying for my time with him or her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I said to myself, no anymore. But see, you are asking, how do you feel?
Yeah.
So nobody asks you how you feel. So I feel good.
Good.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you.
And then do I have time for one more question?
Sure. You
One
can
more
ask
question.
Whatever.
Because I am big on mental health, and I feel like men's mental health isn't, and now that I get to interview you, I feel like mental health with guys isn't talked about enough. So I want to know what your view on men's mental health is.
I think it's exaggerated.
And this is why I always ask how people are feeling, because it's people these days don't get asked enough, like how are you feeling, like literally. And I feel like guys these days don't get asked enough. So that's why I like to ask you, like, how are you feeling?
Look, I think it's all exaggerated. This, that
Yeah.
are you okay? How you feel?
Yeah.
I mean, on surface everything looks okay.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's just a masquerade.
Yeah.
When it comes that day, are you okay? Everybody's putting that signage and
Okay.
I mean, why not just every day how somebody is?
I agree with that. I feel like there shouldn't be a day where you just ask people if they're okay one day a year. I think that people, when you're having general conversation with your friends and family and like me and you today, I always think it's important to just ask, like, how are you feeling? Because you're such a happy person all the time when I see you, but like I don't spend every day with you. And like, do you get asked if you're okay every day from people?
No,
or
because
no?
I choose to be surrounded with people like yourself.
Yeah.
So I realize we cannot live the life with the people who are not genuine in our lives.
Yeah.
Everybody has a purpose in somebody's life. Today, I truly believe that conversation I have with you, it's one of the honest conversations. It's not just an interview podcast thing.
Yeah.
Everybody try to portray themselves to grab that attention.
Of course. Everyone loves to talk about it.
I've been in my life so many times in tears, right? And each time when the life stopped, when things stopped worrying me, I realized something's wrong with me, because there was a moment in my life when I started betting people on daily basis.
Yeah.
Literally, many people involved. The guys, I knew it, and the new guy will come in the unit. I said, I don't want to know even your name. I just don't want to know who you are. Then I started replenishing my emotional feelings. Started replenishing with LSD, with the drugs, and everything else would come under my possession.
Yeah.
Then it comes to the moment in life when I need to say to myself, well, Jess can listen to me 45 minutes, but Jess has a life. She needs to go home and everything else. I need to look after myself.
Yeah.
I think that we all have the solutions inside of ourselves if we really want.
Yeah.
We can't just fall on somebody else's shoulder and expect everybody's going to lift the weight for us, because you have your weight to carry.
Yeah.
But I said to people, try to say to people, doesn't matter how difficult it is, it shall pass. That's number one. Number two, there's always something behind the corner, better, brighter.
Of course.
Just keep walking.
Yeah.
And thirdly, it's nice to ask somebody how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best part. You know what we forgot, Jess? To call people by name.
Yeah.
I love when someone says my name, Mari, how are you? Or this or that.
Yeah.
But I think the mental health is not spoken very much.
No, it's
It is
not.
being given just the pills.
Yeah.
That according to the statistics of Australian Department of Health, 45 million Australians treated on antidepressants.
Yeah.
Which they translate 80.8% of people is on a 9+ prescription of antidepressants.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, 1/5 of population is on antidepressants. I
Yeah.
mean,
And I feel like if people were just to ask you how you are more often, I mean, we all struggle with some kind of mental health, right? I struggle badly with anxiety myself, but all it takes is my friend to come and say, hey, how are you going? And honestly, I have a better day. So I feel like if more of us were to ask, hey, how are you going, then you don't have to go get on pills. If people would just actually genuinely wanted to know how you're going and had a conversation. I feel like these days everyone's so self-absorbed that they ask how someone's going and it's just like they just rub it off. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I feel like with the pills and that statistic, it's ridiculous. Like people these days just need to be more genuine. And so that's why I like to ask, Mario, how are you?
You know the thing of your anxiety is going to be answer? Tie you up for the bed and bring the jar of Nutella, say, come on, open just a little bit.
Life will be better. Anxiety gone.
No, look, I think that gym, fitness is a one thing.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
that's just what doing the boxing.
Yeah.
I feel liberated there, being punched in the head and everything else.
All the endorphins come, Yeah.
But the best part it is, like, even I'm the oldest guy there,
Doesn't matter.
not really, because it's like people love to hit me because like I'm always good target for practice. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, and I don't want to give up so easily. Like I just been bashed everywhere, right? But afterwards, we all sitting there, we all talking, and I try to hear the stories of the life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I realize when I walk in my gym in going Anytime Fitness, Box Hill, and walk there, it's a huge gym. It's huge. It's empty.
Yeah.
It's just me and a few other girls there, which is like maybe 18, 19. They're all working on the bottoms.
On their booty.
Yeah, like, you can see because they're all doing
Love
this.
that.
And I was like, what's this exercise? So I need to ask, some of the PTs. I say, you don't know, Mara? I said, no. I said, that's for the gluteus maximus. I said, for the ass. I said, okay, I didn't know. And there's a few other guys, and it's empty. I said, like, why the people don't come in gym? Because you feel better,
Mentally, yeah.
But they don't, Jess.
Yep.
So thank you for asking for the mental health.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish on that because I think it's important.
No, it's that's the coach. That's what they're looking to coach. Asking and demonstrating how. That's why you, Jess. That's why nobody can. No, it doesn't.
Well, that's all the questions I have. So I just want to say thank you so much
thank you,
for letting me be on your podcast. And I
thank
can't
you.
wait to see where your business goes.
No, thank you, Jess, for being today, my Thank you.
You're welcome.